You know, I wish I could do what a lot of my haters say and just stop watching fucking WWE. I watched this Tribute to the Troops show, and I've never been more horrified in my entire life. This wasn't even PG. This wasn't even G. This was Y7. This was TVY. Whatever's the lowest rating, that's what this fucking thing was right here. Tribute to the Troops. In 2003, I enjoyed this show. You know, you had a couple of, like, decent matches. You know, they really wanted to entertain. Then you had the Divas coming out, all scantily clad, like, dressed in, like, Santa outfits. It was great. It was everything that a soldier could want. And, you know, I love the idea. The troops definitely deserve it. They more than deserve to see, you know, some entertainment for free. So the idea is great. The difference is, now that the Iraq War is pretty much over, now they're taking tribute to the troops to the states, around to the bases here in this country. And now it's at, you know, the naval base here in Virginia. You know, the soldiers are allowed to take their kids. And there's probably more kids than adults because of that. Because almost all of them have kids. You look in the audience, and there was a sea of fucking children. And this show just went beyond what we see on your typical Raw and SmackDown. I think back to Raw, where we got that great Attitude Era style segment with Ric Flair and Punk. And then I look at this show, and I'm just disgusted. You know, I'm not even going to go through the matches. This is just going to be a straightforward general rant on the show, because every single match on the card sucked. It goes without saying. They were all fucking duds. So there's no point in even talking about the matches here on the show. If you want straightforward results, you can go over to PW Torch and read them. But if you want a general criticism of this show, stick with my videos. That's what we do here. So this show, to pick out the most G-rated moments from this program, we've got the Miz talking to Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy. Miss Piggy and Kermit the Frog. It's a Muppets G-rated madness right here. The Miz is talking to Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy like they're human fucking beings. They're fucking puppets. This isn't the Muppet Show. This is a fucking wrestling promotion where people have bled. Mick Foley's been tossed off a fucking cage. People have been forced into retirement due to career-ending injuries and broken bones and concussions and brain damage and shit like that. I mean, a couple of years ago, The Miz was being led to the ring by some half-naked chicks called Extreme Expose. He was feuding with a guy called Balls Mahoney. And now he's talking to a bunch of fucking Muppets. And then Sandow, who is supposed to be credited as the most intelligent wrestler on the roster with a high IQ, higher than any ordinary man, woman, what have you out there. And Sandow is being outdone by a couple of Muppets? And the smartest man in the fucking world, supposedly, is talking to Muppets. Muppets are not real! So why would the smartest man of the entire world wrestling, whatever he's credited as, be talking to Muppets? This is fucking insane! And then they cross the line of good taste here. There's children in the audience, mind you. The Miz and Miss Piggy kiss. They kiss. Do you see what's wrong there? He's a furry. He's a goddamn motherfucking furry. Do you know what a furry is? Do you know what a brony is? A brony, a furry. These are people that are attracted. They dream. They sit in their basements, their rooms every single night, jacking off to the possibility that one day they could possibly kiss Miss Piggy. So this show was a brony, a furry's wet dream. Good fucking God! What were they fucking thinking? The MIZ. They promote this show heavily on Raw and SmackDown. It's gonna get fucking shit ratings anyway, because, you know, it's not Raw. Anything that's not Raw is not gonna get a good rating. But holy fucking shit. You have one of your supposedly top stars, this guy's gonna in line for a gigantic push, was just kissing Miss Piggy. Could you imagine if back in the day, if The Rock, Stone Cold, Triple H, Hulk Hogan was caught on national television kissing a fucking Muppet? And then the cheap heat from Cena and Cesaro. They're going back to the Hulk Hogan Iron Sheik days. This is cheap as fuck. I already talked about this in past vids. About how they gotta get away from this, you know, US guy versus, you know, someone from another place just to get the crowd to chant USA. This is the only fucking place that Cena can get a good positive reaction. And you know why? Because it's children in the audience. Children! Do you notice the difference between the Raw response he got and the Tribute to the Troops response he got? That's because it's parents with their children. And they're not gonna boo him at a show like this. That's cheap as fuck. If you watch this show and you know fucking nothing about wrestling, you would think that this is the most lovable man in the fucking whole entire professional wrestling world. And then after he cleanly just beat Cesaro like he's nothing, you've got this little ending segment. Titus O'Neil, one of the most charismatic men right now on the roster who WWE refuses to push. They're trying to keep him off camera. He goes, oh my God, he's too good. He's better than Cena on the mic. Oh my God. We gotta keep the microphone out of his hand. He's seen strapped to a sleigh with a terrible looking Santa Claus in tow, with fucking reindeer antlers on his head, with Darren Young, his boring tag team partner, and an assortment of other jobbers pulling the sleigh, Santa's sleigh, to the fucking ring. As John Cena's yucking it up with the fucking soldiers at ringside. This fucking sucked. The only entertainment I got out of this shit was fucking Kid Rock, who just was excellent. I'm a big fan of Kid Rock. But that's besides the point. I'm trying not to say anything positive in this video, because it doesn't. This show doesn't deserve any positivity. Good, but if I have to, Kid Rock was the best part of this show. And fucking Flo Rida. Couldn't they get anybody better? I mean, I guess maybe they were trying to cater, you know, here's your rock performer, here's your hip-hop performer. Fuck that shit. Flo Rida sucks. I don't care how much heat that gets me. You know he sucks. Sucks. So this show, to say the very least, pissed me off. You had furry shit on this show, which I never thought would ever happen. You know, WWE has been fucking just revolting. The material they present is revolting. But I've never been more revolted in my life than when I saw that. And I know they were going to say, oh, but Brad, you can't criticize this show. It's for the troops. And you know, it was just for the kids. So, you know, it's just entertainment. Fuck that shit. Yeah, it was for the troops. Okay. And I know there's going to be a lot of people who are going to say that, but the thing is, couldn't they entertain the troops in a much better way? You know, there's a way of doing comedy without fucking Muppets. They did comedy all the time in the Attitude Era that was fucking hilarious. And it wasn't always sexual or vulgar, mind you. There was actually a lot of, you know, clean-cut jokes in there that were funny. For example, think back to when Al Snow and Steve Blackman were in an old age home, and Steve Blackman was cutting jokes. That wasn't really, you know, all that vulgar or dirty. And the thing is, that just proves it. That right there, you can have quality comedy, memorable moments without, you know, TV 14. But holy fucking shit, we were just below TV 14 to the furthest extent tonight. Fucking bull fucking shit. What a horrible fucking show. It's almost like, what the fuck were they thinking? You know, like, why would anybody but the most masochistic wrestling fans such as myself tune in to such an abysmal program? Fuck this shit.